and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a chatty kind of video, something that I've never really talked about before, but I do get asked about a lot, especially in person. So I thought I'd do a video to just kind of answer any questions that anyone might have that they haven't asked me, or just in case you were interested. So if you didn't know, in 2017 I went into Love Island. I think it was series 3, and it was the first year they did the Casa Amor, which was the second villa. And I've done like a whole Love Island Q&A, which I'll leave the link down below if you want to go and watch that. But this is kind of like a life after Love Island type video. So just a small bit of background. I was recruited, I guess is the right word. I was talent scouted to go on the show via my Instagram and my Facebook. So I was already a blogger before the show. I had my Instagram up and running, all of that kind of stuff. I'm really handsy today. Maybe I'm nervous, I don't know. So they found me on my social media channels and asked me to be on the show. I went for auditions and everything. I was actually supposed to be in the series the year before with the likes of Olivia Bowen, all of those people anyway, and Alex Zara that year. I was supposed to go in that year, but didn't. Went into the year afterwards because I finally agreed to do the show. We'll get to that. So why did I do it? I wanted to have the experience. I have always wanted to be like a TV presenter. I wanted to do stuff on TV. Everyone in my life was always telling me that I was really good in front of the camera, that I would be really good on TV. So I just thought, okay, here's an opportunity, let's do it. It was worth it in the sense of that it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed it. It opened up my eyes to a whole like behind the scenes of TV, like what it's actually like and what you don't really ever get to see. But in terms of career-wise, there's a very fine line. So some people do really, really well and that's their only career. And some people kind of do okay, but not enough to become a career. And that's definitely where I sit. So in a general sense, it was really good fun. I enjoyed it. However, what came after may not have been worth how it actually went, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So I came out with a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, kind of mental health problems, boohoo, woe is me, I know, which I've worked hard over the years to kind of make them dealable with in everyday life. I know I've talked about this like a tiny bit on my Instagram and on here, but not very much. I was basically diagnosed with agoraphobia, which is not wanting to leave your house, and I was diagnosed with panic attacks and GAD, which is general anxiety disorder. This was a few years ago. I'm not gonna go over it. I'm just gonna slip it in there as something that came as a result of my very, very short stint on reality TV. But it wasn't to do with like trolls or people being horrible to me, which still wasn't nice. It was more to do with the fact that I went in there with a career path. I knew I wanted to buy a house, I knew I wanted to set up other businesses, and I thought this would be kind of like a springboard to get me there. And this is kind of how they treat you when you go on shows like this. They say, well, this is gonna be great for your career, imagine all the things you can do afterwards, all of this kind of stuff, like really psyching you up to have the best career afterwards. And then when you come out, it's kind of like they hand you a piece of A4 paper and say, yeah, here's some agents, see you later, bye, and never really talk to you again. So since obviously there's been a couple of quite tragic things that have happened from past contestants and presenters, they now have more of a duty of care and they phone you a couple of more times, but to be honest, that's about it. So the juicy stuff, what happened after the show? It's very weird to deal with kind of like people recognizing you and stuff like that. I would have people like running up to me and screaming on nights out and things like this, which was very weird, and I didn't really know how to deal with that. But you kind of just have to take it in your stride and think, okay, well, this is just what's happening now and it's not gonna last forever. I kind of went back to having my original job. So I had my own business when I went into the villa and stuck with my own business afterwards. I know a lot of people get like very big social media promotions and stuff like that. Back then it wasn't as much as it is now. However, there were like quite a few people from my show that did very, very well, and that is their career now. That's like influencers, TV stars, all of that kind of stuff. That is their career now. However, for me, it didn't quite get to that scale, and I know a lot of other people from the same year didn't have the same success, and most people went back to kind of normal jobs, or what you would consider a normal job. After a while, I actually went to work in Jack Wills. So I kind of went from reality TV to retail, which kind of should be the other way around. However, it's very difficult to then see yourself as a normal person afterwards. And I know that sounds really big-headed and really, like, I don't know, snobby, but it's very difficult when on one hand you have people running up to you and screaming and saying, oh my God, I watched you on TV, blah, 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 all of this kind of stuff. And then actually thinking, well, no, I need to make a living and I need to work. So going back into kind of like a normal like retail job was very weird. I was obviously dealing with all the anxiety and stuff at the same time. So yeah, it was kind of weird. It was a very weird time. But I honestly loved my job in Jack Wills. We had like the best team of people. Everyone was so lovely. I just enjoyed that job, and I really liked interacting with people because having my own business, I spend a lot of time at home and I work from home pretty much 24/7 unless I'm out at meetings or events or things like that. So working in Jack Wills was kind of like my social time as well as work, if that makes sense. I then managed to drum up enough clients to go full-time with my own business. What a lot of people probably don't understand is I don't get paid to do YouTube or to do my Instagram or my blog or any of those things. That's not what pays me. I do them because I enjoy them. And I think maybe if I were to put 100% into blogging, then I potentially could grow it to be my sole income. However, there are other businesses and other things that I want to do. So I don't know, I'm figuring out where I want to put my efforts into. Going on the show did actually grow some of my channels, so it grew my YouTube to a couple of thousand. I think my Instagram went from 8,000, which I had on my own, to about 18,000. And over the years, it's just gone back down. This is just like random accounts, spam accounts, troll accounts, people that were just interested in the show, all of those kind of things that unfollow you. And it is very normal to lose following after going on a show like that. So I wasn't expecting to stay at the number I did. I know some people go up to like 800,000 and then they go down to like 500,000, which is still amazing, but it's not kind of like the excitement of the show. It kind of does wear off over time, and then you just get the engaged audience, like the people that actually do want to interact with you, which to me is more important anyway, because those are the people that actually care about what I'm sharing. So life after Love Island has been very much up and down. This is another thing I wanted to touch on as well, is going on other shows afterwards. So I did apply for a few other shows, and most of them turned me down purely because of the fact that I had been on a show on such a scale as Love Island. So if I had done, I don't know, maybe a few smaller shows and then worked up to that, firstly, it might have gone a little bit better because I would have had a better understanding of reality TV. And also I wouldn't maybe need to go back to doing the smaller shows, I guess. Not that I need to, I just enjoy it. So I'm still in touch with a couple of like casting agents and things like that. I do talk to them every now and then, and I see if they put a show, like a new casting for a show out. I have auditioned for a few, like I said, but yeah, they just haven't happened. There is one show that I have done that will be coming out in a couple of weeks, hopefully. I only did one episode and I can't tell you what it is, but keep an eye on my Instagram and you'll be able to see when it goes live. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. Secret. But there is one show I did for one episode, and I feel like it's still like dipping my toes in the water because I would still love to do presenting. I presented the Controlled documentary, which was all about online bullying, which I got quite a lot of over Twitter when I came out, and some of it was from people I know, which was kind of weird to think that someone that was your friend or you thought was your friend would be writing really horrible things about you, but it's all part and parcel. Next for me, I guess I just want to work on my businesses. I love making all this content and I love talking to you guys. I perhaps just need to plan it better so that I can do more of it. And if you have any ideas of any videos you'd like to see, I know everyone always says that, but I don't know, I kind of want to flip between making the content that I love and then also making the content that you guys want to see, because if I'm doing a load of like random chatty videos that you really don't care about, I'd rather actually make something like, I don't know, do you want like a wardrobe tour, or do you want like, what do you want to see? So that's really interesting for me as well. And I'm still working on my newest business, which is Southampton Focus, which is like a localized blog and website aimed at helping small businesses. And that's a lot of the stuff that I do is aimed at helping small businesses. And I guess the last thing I'm going to touch on is my advice for anyone applying to go on one of these shows. I'm not sure how it works at the moment with obviously COVID and everything being postponed. I know that it's quite a cutthroat industry, so someone I know applied for and got into Love Island, and they went through the whole process. However, they weren't selected to go into the villa and instead got sent home. So they'd quit their job, basically quit everything and put their whole life on hold to go on the show, and then didn't get put in. They eventually went on another show and they've had great success since. And if you're watching, you probably know who you are. But it can be quite cutthroat. And especially when you kind of get kicked out, or the storylines aren't about you anymore, you just become like a little pawn, and it's like, right, okay, you're done now, see you later, move on to the next one. So it can be quite cutthroat, and you do have to be quite thick-skinned. However, I think if it's something that you're really, really, really wanting to do, just look at everything with a pinch of salt. If you put too much pressure on it, that's when it starts to go wrong. And I put so much pressure on myself to do well in this show, and that's where it went wrong. And I think it's taken me a long time to recover and get my self-confidence back, even within business. It becomes that kind of, what's it called? Like imposter syndrome. And you kind of think that you're not necessarily good enough, or that you can't talk yourself up, or things like this. So you have to be very wary not to lose your self-confidence in all of the, it's not very glitz and glam, but all of the glitz and glam of everything. But yeah, anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the messages down below. I did the show so long ago, but I've never really talked about life after. So I'm sticking with my businesses, I'm sticking with doing all of this content just because I enjoy it, and hopefully one of them will take off and I'll be a millionaire. We can all dream. But thank you very much for watching my video. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and go ahead and follow my Instagram. I post daily updates on there, and mostly style and outfit pictures too. Like I said, if there's anything you guys want to see on this channel, then do let me know. And if not, I will speak to you very soon. Bye.